Well, I did it. After 1 year playing iRacing, I finally got a proper sim rig. The sim rig that I got was Track Racer's TR40S, and I've had it for 1 week. And within that 1 week, it has made a pretty good first impression. So in today's video, we're going to dive in both the good and the bad about the Track Racer TR40S and see if it is the best budget 80/20 rig on the market and if it is right for you. But before we do that, I would just like to give a quick mention that we are so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers. So if you do like this video, please like and subscribe, as it will not only help this channel, but allow me to make more content like this in the future. So with that out of the way, let's jump right in. The Track Racer TR40S is the company's most affordable sim racing rig, coming in around $350 brand new, making it an amazing option if you want to buy an aluminum 80/20 rig without spending the outlandish price that usually comes with the 80/20 rigs. That price gets even better once you realize that it comes with a shifter mount, which is amazing because with more high-end and expensive rigs, you would have to buy the shifter mount separately. The TR40S is 47.64 inches long and 26 inches wide, making it perfect if you have a small area like a bedroom or if you just want a cockpit that doesn't take up a lot of space. And even with its small size, the rig is surprisingly sturdy, with the most noticeable amount of movement coming from the center of the cockpit where the wheel mount is. Though pushing and pulling on the wheel mount is not natural when sim racing, however, if you do it, you will see a little bit of movement. I can even stand on the wheel mount and it doesn't move a bit. And speaking of mounts, let's now talk about the seat and seat mount. For being a budget sim rig, the seat mount actually works really good, and once you get it screwed in there, it doesn't move a bit. The adjustability is also something worth mentioning, as you can adjust it to fit almost any type of seat, whether it's Track Racer's official seats or a third-party one like the one I'm using. Unfortunately, with this rig, as with most aluminum rigs, the seat does not come with the rig and you will need to buy it separately. While Track Racer has both bucket and recliner racing seats, their bucket seats can get a bit expensive, and I personally don't think recliner seats are the best for sim racing. But you can definitely get a third-party seat and or mount your own if you do want to go down that route. If you do want to mount your own recliner seat, you will need to purchase Track Racer's universal mounting brackets for recliner seats. However, if you want to mount your own bucket seat, you do have a few more options. For example, the bucket seat I went for was the NRG Innovations NRG FRP 300BK fiberglass fixed back bucket racing seat. Wow, that was a mouthful. Priced at $285 brand new, the seat is 23 inches wide, 18 inches in depth, and 35 inches in height. And you can always get it in other colors as well, which is a nice option to have. It will fit most people's bodies, as I am 5'9" and it fits well with me. However, I can see this being an issue for taller people, especially if they have broader shoulders, as it can start getting uncomfortable after a period of time. So if you are somebody that's tall with broader shoulders, I would definitely recommend searching for something a little bit bigger. The padding on the seat is also something that's pretty good, but I do wish they put a little more padding towards the rear of the seat to make it a little bit more comfortable. When you buy this seat off of Amazon like I did, it will come with its own seat brackets that you can mount to your rig. They're not bad and they work perfectly fine, but I ended up purchasing Track Racer's oversized seat brackets, which worked way better for me as they offered more adjustability for my seating position, which is really good if you want to have a hybrid between GT and Formula style seating positions. There is also an optional pedal mount if you really want to have a true Formula style seating position, but I did not purchase it as it was almost as expensive as the rig itself. Speaking of the pedal plate mount, it might not look like there's a lot of adjustability, but there actually is. You can move it a lot more than I thought you could before I bought this rig, and when I sat in it for the first time, it actually felt like I was sitting in a real GT car for a moment. Which is not surprising considering I was playing on my desk the entire time with my pedals literally just slapped on the floor. So it pretty much was a night and day difference for me. But I wouldn't worry too much about how high you should be raising your pedals if you want a Formula style seating position, especially if this is your first sim rig. Also, if you want to be able to adjust your seats forward or backwards position with ease, I would highly recommend getting Track Racer's universal seat slider, because trying to make adjustments on an 80/20 rig is not a fun experience. The biggest downside to the TR40S, and pretty much any 80/20 rig for that matter, is adjusting the dang thing, because holy moly, it is a pain in the neck. Everything was packaged nicely in the box and I really had no problems with shipping, but unfortunately it came with no instructions, as you have to go onto the Track Racer website to find them, and the instructions themselves are the worst I've ever seen. It was very confusing and hard to read, and what made it even worse was the fact that the bags that had the parts inside had no labels on them, making it really hard to know what parts you had. And if you were in the middle of building it and you noticed something wrong, you would have to take the entire thing apart, fix it, and then rebuild it again, which is extremely frustrating and time consuming. This rig took me a total of 4 hours, 15 minutes, and 30 seconds to build. Yeah, unfortunately, my experience with building Legos as a kid did not come and help me with this at all. And the worst part about this rig is not even building the rig itself, but adjusting it to where it fits you. It took a couple days just to find that perfect spot where I wanted the seat position to be. Another thing to mention, just like with the seat, there is another thing that you will have to buy separately, and that is the metal plate that attaches to the shifter mount for you to even be able to attach a shifter in the first place. As with many other accessories, they do start adding up over time. Altogether, with the frame, the seat brackets, metal shifter plate, and bucket seat, this rig cost me a little bit over $800. And you might be thinking to yourself, why on earth would you spend $800 on a rig that's a budget sim rig in the first place? And while yes, $800 does seem like a lot of money to spend on a sim racing rig, there are a few things to keep in mind. Most, if not all, other sim rigs are either double or triple the amount that the TR40S is. And altogether, if you were to buy something else that's more high end, it would cost you well past the $1,000 price range. Secondly, this is an 80/20 rig, meaning that you can upgrade and customize it to your liking. Unlike something like the Playseat Trophy, which is cheaper, but you will lose a lot of that customability. And eventually you will end up selling it for an 80/20 rig anyways. But an 80/20 rig like the TR40S will grow with you and last you a lot longer. One last thing I have to say, and this is something that I heard a lot of people complain about, and it's actually not with the TR40S, but it's with Track Racer in general, and it's shipping. For me at least, shipping was actually pretty good, and it only took a week for the TR40S to come in after I ordered it. But I really do think this heavily depends on your region and or location, because Track Racer ships from inside the US. So it's going to take a lot longer for it to get to you if you are in another country. And due to the fact that I'm in the United States, really helped out in my case. But that did not stop a couple of the horror stories that I have heard with Track Racer, from missing parts to damaged parts. So that is something to bear in mind. However, with me, no damaged parts or missing parts whatsoever. It came perfect.
Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Females made you just to trick me, trick me, trick me, trick me. 'Cause baby girl, you are so easy, baby.
Track Racer's TR40S has definitely been one of the best purchases I've ever made when it comes to sim racing. I've only had it for 1 week and I've completely enjoyed my time with it and has made an amazing first impression. And like I've said before, it was a complete night and day difference going from my desk to the sim rig. So yeah, I think it was an amazing decision for me. And I can definitely say with confidence that this is one of, if not the best, budget 80/20 sim rig out there. And if you're looking to upgrade and or just want a small little sim rig for a small little area, this is probably going to be your best option. Well, that's it for today's video. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please tell me them in the comments below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you on the next one.